Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Awak Priestess here, and welcome to today's video. You guys really like this video, so I'm making a part two to it. It's a video I made like 2 years ago, actually. And it's basically the video that I made was titled, I'm going to put the original video in the description box of this video in case for those of you that didn't watch it. But the video is called The Truth Nobody Tells You About Reading Tarot for Others. Okay, this is going to be part two, and this is going to be talking about ethics, code of ethics. Okay, before we get today's video started, if you would like to have a one-on-one reading with me, shamanic@workpriestess.com. If you would like to have mentorship, because I do mentor people that are trying to get in any of the paths that I practice, Santeria, Hoodoo, Voodoo, and Espiritismo, shamanic@workpriestess.com. Also, if you're looking for someone to cast spell work for you, I also perform those services. That's also available on my website, as well as specialized readings that has mediumship, spirit court readings, and so much more, guys. Yeah, and I also sell spell kits. So if you're trying to cast your own spells, especially for intermediate and beginners, a great kit to buy. Everything's done for you, prepared for you. Literally have to just open up the package, light up your candles, and follow the instructional video that I provide. So any of those things interest you, shamanic@workpriestess.com. And again, thank you so much for being subscribed. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you want to support my channel, please hit the join button and you can become a member. 3 different tiers. All the services are described as well when you click the join button. And you could also support my channel for free by subscribing, liking, sharing my videos, and commenting down below and thumbs up. Okay, now getting to the video. So the truth nobody tells you about reading tarot for others. So I've talked about, like, you know, a lot of things on my last video, but this one I want to specifically cover ethics. Okay, things that you should not be doing. Okay, an unethical reader is just like one of my biggest pet peeves in the spiritual community. It's bad enough that people, not all people, but people already have a misconception of psychic readers and psychics in general and tarot readers. They always think we're scam artists, and you watch a lot of those fake readers getting sued or being on news shows or hidden camera pretending that they have these gifts and they don't, pretending that people get cursed when they don't have curses, so on and so forth. So for those of you that are wanting to be professional readers someday, or just if you're interested in this topic in particular, because it can also help you what to stay away from when looking for a reader. Okay, so you can, as the client, you can look at it as what is unethical, and maybe that's not the reader for you. And as someone who may be trying to become a professional reader, these are the things that you should not do. Okay, so number one, don't exploit your clients for money. And this simple statement covers so many things, okay? It covers so many things. And the reason why I'm saying that is because exploiting the client could involve things like, you'll have people, I've had so many people tell me that they'll be on social media minding their own business, and you'll have a reader or a spiritualist, hey, I had a dream that I needed to talk to you, and you have this like bad energy on you and you're cursed and blah 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 blah, and you need to, if you want to save your life, come and talk to me. So they'll look for you. A reader that's professional and respectable would never go on social media fishing for clients. Getting my water intake for the day. Sorry, but my throat is dry. So yeah, any respectable reader would never, ever, ever go into people's social media and solicit your work. If you do good work, should speak for itself, right? So many times I have clients that either they find me on my YouTube channel and they like what I have to say, or they were working with me on the psychic hotline, they found me somehow, or they read some other people's reviews and say okay, or people have relatives and friends that they like the way that I do readings and I do my spiritual services, that they recommend other people to go to me. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be word of mouth. They're going to find you. So there is no need to exploit people by soliciting them online. That is a big no-no. It also makes us readers, like the majority of the good readers, look like scam artists. Okay, there's always a few bad apples that spoil the bunch. Another part of exploiting a client is there are people that do not need a reader, okay? But they actually need to see like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. There are people that are going through psychosis, okay? And you'll have readers that will literally spiritually bypass, okay? We talked about that too. I'm gonna put that video link as well. So if you're interested in that topic, because I want to kind of stick on this topic here, where they're literally going to just ignore the fact that some people may be going through a mental health crisis where their physical life can be in danger, and they're like, oh, if you give me money, I'll burn this candle and you're going to be okay. There's nothing wrong with burning health candles. I've done that for clients, but I always am ethical, saying I will like this, but also take your medicine, see your therapist, so on. You can work, spirituality and medical can work together. You can work in the spiritual and the logical together, okay? But you'll literally have people that will feed off the energy of someone who is not in the right mental state to see how much money they can get. That was a big problem when I was working on the hotline. It's why I don't work there anymore. I couldn't deal with so many of the unethical things that I would see happening on the psychic hotline that I worked for. Okay. You should never play on the fears of your clients. Okay. Fear tactics. Like I said, soliciting somebody. You have a curse. You have a hex. Oh my goodness. Give me all this money. Do all this stuff. Because if you don't, this is going to happen. Like, you should never do that. Right. You can give a warning in an ethical way, but you should never, ever, ever, ever play on someone's fear for the simple thing of trying to get somebody's money. That is not right, and it's evil. Okay. Do not allow the fact that you can make money doing spiritual services possess you to the point where you lose all moral compass. I have no respect for spiritualists or readers that like to live off people's fear and get their money using fear-based tactics, okay? Playing on other people's desperation, messing with their mental health, knowing that someone has mental health issues and exploiting that and taking advantage of that, okay? You should never do that. Soliciting people, you should never do that. Okay, you should never intentionally leave info out. Now, no one is perfect. There's times that someone might do a reading with you and you might not see everything that sometimes spirit doesn't allow you to see everything, right? We're human. However, they are readers, and I was friends with readers back in the day. They used to admit to me that they will only tell the client, especially in love readings, what they wanted to hear about the person they were reading on, so that client could get false hope and then keep coming to them. Okay? Because they felt like, being honest, there was no money in that. I took the opposite approach. I would just tell you the truth respectfully, because at the end of the day, okay, you can set up someone to be in a domestic violence situation. You could set up someone to go into mental health issues because they're in a very toxic relationship. You should never feed somebody false hope. You should try to be honest in a respectful manner. So there are people that intentionally leave things out, or they would intentionally leave a warning out because they want you to come back. Okay, they want you to come back. They want that bad thing to happen so you could come back to them. And that is wrong. You should never intentionally leave information out of a reading. Okay, they're paying you for honest, deep dive look into situations, other people, and whatever they're reading on. You should give the information the way it is presented to you in a respectful manner. As a professional reader, you need to leave judgment at the door. It is not your job to act holier than thou and make your client feel bad. How many people have I known that, like, oh, I want to be professional readers, but I can't do love readings. I can't do this. They don't want to read on woo woo. Like, they're paying you. Like, why are you judging these people? Like, okay, they want to read on love, let them read on love. Oh, you know what I mean? If they want to be petty in a let them be petty in a reading. Like, it's their service they're paying for. So, like, you don't have the right to judge people in a reading like you're better than them, or you're like the spiritual guru and reading about love is just beneath me. Okay, you have to be humble, right? It is not your reading, it is the reading that the client paid for. So I always tell people, because they were like, oh, it's going to be petty, and I could tell that they've worked with readers prior to me that were judgmental, and that is very rampant in the spiritual community, where people literally are judging their clients, talking bad about them, and that is being unethical. You should always show respect to the client's face and when the client is not around. Okay. I talked about spiritual bypass when you literally know there's a real problem and you give them, oh, it's because the reason why this is happening is because, spirit's trying to give you some higher lesson or whatever. When that could be the case, but that's not always the case. There could be some deeper issues going on. I always tell people when I do a health reading, I'll be like, this is what the spirits are telling me about your health. Please go to the doctor. I always say, please go to the doctor. Okay. I do not diagnose your stuff. I am not a doctor. Okay. You have readers that are very ego based. The bad apples. They literally are like, I am this all powerful, and it comes off and transmute in the session where they're like kind of talking down to you. It's kind of like they see you below. They look at you like you're beneath them. And you cannot be like that. You are equal to your clients, okay? You are not better than anybody else just because you can read some cards or you have a psychic gift, okay? We are all equal in spirit's eyes and the world's eyes, okay? So be humble. Do not act like you're better than the people you're reading, okay? And then one of my biggest pet peeves are the people that have no business giving readings. What I mean by that, buying a deck of cards and then the next day opening up a shop to do reading is very unethical. You should be practicing on people. That's exactly what I did when I first started. I practiced for a long time, made sure my readings were doing what I got to do, and it was free. And then when I was comfortable and felt like, okay, they're accurate, I'm getting good feedback, then I went and auditioned for the psychic hotline that I worked on because I had to audition to go on that one. And then from there, I worked there for, 3 or 4 years, and then I went into my own business. Okay. But I started charging when I was confident because I literally used to read on Facebook strangers for free. If they wanted to tip it, that's fine, but it was for free because I wanted to practice to make sure that I was good enough in what I did to charge, because you're charging money. You should have experience under your belt, and you should be accurate, and you should be good at what you do. Okay, so make sure you have experience, make sure you're ethical, like, and don't be lying about how many years of experience. Oh my goodness, in the psychic hotline we had this girl, she would literally, the age that she's like, I have 30 years experience. I'm like, girl, you're 30, you was reading out the womb, you were reading in your mother's utero, we were doing readings there, really? How can you have 30-year experience but you're 30? So please be honest about your experiences. Don't act like you do more than what you do. That is not right. Okay. I talked already about harassing people into getting readings. Okay. Or harassing them if you find out they read with somebody else. Okay. I have clients that only read with me. And then I have some clients that have read with more than one person. I don't care. Like, that's your point. That's your money. That's your thing. Why are you being weird? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard of other readers finding out that people read with me and then like threatening their clients. Like, that's kind of weird, ma'am. It's kind of weird, sir. That's kind of weird, people. So yes, okay. um and also, can we normalize other readers trying to read other readers on their platform? That is unethical. Okay. I didn't ask you to read me, so why are you channeling me, trying to show off your skills, babes? Like, get your own platform, get your own thing. You don't need to be advertising on my platform. Can we normalize, stop putting your website links on other readers' channels? That's gross. Get your own clientele. Stop trying to be a vampire and literally steal from other people. Okay? Let's not do that. That's very unethical. Okay? Also, you need to know when you need to deny somebody a reading. Okay. If someone is not in the right mental state, emotional state, okay, if you feel like this doesn't happen a lot, but it was really more rampant in the psychic hotline where that same client was reading with you like 10 times a day. We were not allowed to deny them. And there was times I would literally log off my chat sometimes because I was like, we've read on the same topic like 10 times. It was giving me anxiety, and it didn't sit right with my spirit. Okay. There are people that would literally like read, like, do a reading like 20 times a day, you know what I'm saying? Not pay their rent, not do any of that stuff, and that doesn't make me feel good in my spirit. Like, knowing when to cut somebody off. Now, you can read, like, I have people that read with me once a week, twice a week. That's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally reading with me in one day like 20 times, 5 times. And you know what is admitting to me that you didn't pay your rent. That's when we have a problem, right? We're not paying our bills. That's noise bueno. Okay, so that's more of an addictive behavior, so that knowing when to cut them off, or you have a verbally abusive person, or you have someone who doesn't have boundaries, right? Being ethical is also like knowing that you're not the right reader for everybody. Okay, if you're like, I cannot sit here and talk to you on social media all day, I don't think I'm the right reader for you. That's okay to say that. It's okay to know when to cut somebody off, guys. Okay. Also, a unethical reader will read you knowing that they're not there 100%. What I mean by that, there's been times, and I do risk them going to somebody else or being like, I don't know if I want her to be my reader because she rescheduled or whatever. If I have a migraine, if I'm very physically ill, whatever, I'm not going to read you, no matter how much somebody begs me, because I'm not going to be able to have the clear mind to give you what you paid for, which is an accurate reading. So I would just take the L and keep it pushing. If I'm not feeling my 100%, I'm not going to do a reading. And I feel like more people need to do that, because there's a lot of people that are doing readings, and it's like, you're not the best, you're not the best like version of yourself, and things like that. And that also goes hand in hand with spiritual hygiene. Can we talk about how many unethical readers and spiritualists are doing spell work, doing readings for people, knowing damn well that they are jinxed and crossed? They have negative energy. So when you're doing an in person or online reading, your negative energy is jumping into the client. Your negative energy is jumping into the client. You know how many people I've had to clean after they've read with other people, because that reader was so money hungry that they were reading people knowing that they were under spiritual attack and knowing that they had all these bad entities around them. You should have a spiritually cleansed home. Your temple, which is your body, should be spiritually cleansed, okay? It is not okay to lay hands on spiritual products, candles, people, or do readings or perform any type of spiritual service when you yourself are spiritually unclean. That is not the way you do it, honey. You have to have ethics, okay? You're literally going to ruin people's lives. Always protect your energy and the energy of your clients, okay? Never, 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 okay, just go to some random person and say you are cursed. Yes, people are cursed. Let them come to you, let them ask you. When people feel like they're cursed, they come and ask me. When you're cursed, okay? If someone is cursed, then yes, tell them they're cursed. But don't lie to somebody and say they're cursed and try to again play on their fears to get money. I've seen that happen time and time again, okay? Do not do that, okay? Also, stop being envious, okay, and jealous of other people's success, right? Stop doing that. Stay in your lane. Try to build your business, your brand, and your stuff, because what's for you is for you. What's for that person is for that person. You don't need to compare yourself to the next spiritualist, okay? And also, please do not trust everybody. Not everybody, even the spiritual people that try to come in. I've talked about this multiple times. A lot of them will befriend you because they want free services, or they want to steal ideas, or they're secretly jealous of you. Not all spiritualists do that, but there are people that will friend you because they're jealous and they want what you got. Okay, they're trying to take from you, honey. All right, and there's nothing wrong. Okay, last but not least, unethical readers never take breaks, okay? When you are in a spiritual slump, when you're not sitting right with your spirits, okay? When you know that you cannot do certain types of spiritual services, and it's not even like a physical illness. Let's say you're in a spiritual slump, you're just not connected with anything. You should be ethical enough to take a break when the break is needed. When I need to take breaks, I take them. Even though people get upset, I take them, because if I'm taking a break, that means I'm in a slump. I am tired. I am very low energy. I'm not going to be able to give you anything. If I can't give to myself, I can't give to you, right? So being ethical is knowing when to take a pause, pull back, and take a break if it's needed, okay? So those are, like, to me, the most important code of ethics that I feel like anybody who's trying to be a full-time reader should have. Or if you're looking for a spiritualist, they should have the morals that I was talking about. And then the deal breakers, like if you see any of these deal breakers that I talked about, then maybe you need to go to a different reader. So a few questions before I let you go on this video. Why should you have ethics? The reason why you should have ethics is because whatever you send out is going to come back to you. When you do something with bad intentions for only the sake of getting money, that's going to show in your work. Eventually, okay, even if you start making money in the beginning, the gifts that Spirit gives you, Spirit will take it away from you. People will start noticing that you are someone who only cares about money and start going with other people. It doesn't matter how accurate, how powerful you think you are. So you should always treat your clients the way that you would want to be treated. Okay, that's why it's important to have code of. If you really want to do this type of work, like, you have to have morals. Okay. Secondly, the next question that I wanted you to think about, what type of ethics you should have. I talked about it. I listed a whole bunch of things. Never, never play on fears. Never lie to somebody. Never leave out, information that's intentional. Always protect your energy. Always protect the energy of your clients. The list goes on and on. But I want you to think about, for those of you that are trying to go into business for yourself, ask yourself that question. Like, what would you like from a spiritualist if you were the one seeking their counsel, right? What are the things you do like and what are the things you don't like, okay? And you could base your ethics on that, right? Treating others in the way that you want to be. Because the consequences of being an unethical reader is that you make the rest of us look bad. You make the rest of us look bad. Okay. And that's not good. We already, as spiritual people, have so much judgments from other cultures, religious groups, and all these things. We get demonized. We don't need fake and scammers, unethical people, money hungry people making us look worse than what people have a perception of us. Okay. And in conclusion, so to conclude this video, I really just want you to ask yourself these questions. Really think about these questions and really ask yourself these questions. What would your answers be? Let's discuss this in the comment section below. Let me know also if you ever had a spiritualist that had these unethical practices. If you're comfortable, you don't have to say who the person is. Share those stories. I have so many horror stories I get from clients, people around me. I've seen some horror stories. I was friends and then unfriended people that were very unethical as readers. So I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirts, seen it all. I feel like being a full-time professional reader is such a rewarding thing. Like, I'm so grateful that I get to work from home. I'm so grateful that I get to change people's lives. I'm so grateful that I get to meet people from all over the world. I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys that have ever bought a service from me, whether it's spell work, whether it's mentorship, whether it's readings, whatever it was. Thank you so much, guys. It's such a rewarding field to be in, and I just wish that more people would respect it. But anyways, much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video. Bye, guys.